So late last year, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but I was really fascinated to see these images. Brazil's Indigenous Affairs Agency, FUNAI, has confirmed the presence of 27 Indigenous groups living in extreme isolation in Brazil's vast Amazon region, making it the home of the largest number of uncontacted tribes in the world. The exact meaning of uncontacted is, of course, a matter of debate, but experts agree that such communities have extremely limited contact with the outside world and they survive in nearly complete isolation from the global economy. Sounds like a nice holiday, really, doesn't it? But sometimes I worry that large portions of the procurement profession are uncontacted. And I'm the most positive person about the profession. That is, that they're working in isolation, unaware that there's a whole universe of knowledge available to them to help them do their jobs better and learn very quickly. So apparently we have more than 2.5 million procurement professionals in the world, and some people say actually more. But you know, when we start to think about it, we can really only put our fingers on probably 500,000. So when you say there's the SIPS membership, the ISM membership, you start to think of the large global organisations, maybe the large consultancies. There's probably only 500,000 that you could really get in contact with if you tried. So where are the other 2 million or 4 million, you know? Are they thriving? Are they working in isolation? I think this could be a good job for you, Peter, with your investigative skills. Are they developing? And I'm going to try and be really positive about the profession, but I mean, I think it can be a fairly lonely profession as it is. Unlike our esteemed accounting colleagues, who often work in a group of 20 people, seemingly doing the same boring thing as everyone else in their team. Oh, sorry, is that a bit mean? You know, often you can be a procurement professional and you can be buying that one category or service. The only person in your company or in your industry, or where I come from, you might be only one of 5 people in the country that's specialising in that category. It can be quite isolating. And as everyone today has said, and Peter so beautifully talked about as well as David, is that, you know, we're really faced with some complex supply challenges today, and I think that's what's making what we do just so exciting, because it's hard to think of anything that we don't touch. You know, employment law, climate change, environment, which can fall under climate, and of course now social media. And I guess people, there's sort of some throwaway lines, social media is disrupting industries and business, but it's really, social media is at the middle of some sort of vortex really, which is, you know, the rise of e-commerce and the proliferation of the digital landscape, and social media is certainly a big part of that. But we're witnessing this storm, which is, you know, really changing, as we've also talked about, disrupting just about every industry we're talking about. And we're starting to see what the difference, you know, that it can make to procurement and supply chain as well. It's still a blind spot for our profession, but that doesn't mean we're the last in line to catch on to this. And I guess what we're trying to do at Procurious is to make sure that procurement profession is on the leading edge with what this you know, phenomena can mean for us. And I think one of the obvious things, if we were to rest on our laurels from the past and the things that we were good at, we were often looked at as the bastion of knowledge, the interface between the supply market and the organisation. But now, of course, everyone can Google, Twitter and what have you, and so your internal customer or stakeholder or whatever we want, your business partner, probably knows just as much about the market as your best category manager. You know, really now we can see the flow of information between external audiences and the internal, and whilst we wouldn't want to stop that because it's actually breeding innovation and creativity, we have to make sure we're present and part of the conversation, and I think that's what we want to make sure we're helping you do through Procurious.